One.
Hello, hello. We are back with Terra Nullius. So, Saori just died. So that's a thing. So I think we come back to that the shot of the starlight making its way through the Mediterranean. And I think what we see is we see the dawn, like the sun coming up. So we see the sun coming up over the coastline as you kind of make your way up the coast of Italy. And
have we taken a long rest by now?
you can take a long rest. Yeah, that's fine.
Yay! I have my hit points back.
Sarah, you cannot take a long rest.
I'm dead.
She will take the longest rest.
Dang it, I was gonna say that.
There's literally nothing I can do.
So what do we see from all of y'all? Like, what are you guys doing? I think the sailors are like very dismally just like keeping the ship running. Klaus is at the wheel. Just he seems really downtrodden. And he's like, yeah, really looks really tired. What do you guys do?
What kind of clothing do the monks wear?
Like red robes.
Is there any extra like red fabric and like maybe like hay or something on the ship?
I don't know, Saori, would there be?
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then I cut some red fabric from whoever's robes would be most accessible to me. And I make a little voodoo doll
What?
of Clement, and
Oh, Clement.
I just stab him with my daggers occasionally.
Okay, sounds good. And nothing happens. You don't hear a scream.
It's fine.
All right, that's where are you doing this? Like in the hold?
Where am I doing it? Probably like I'm probably being creepy and like standing like a bat while doing it.
In the bunk area?
No.
Like in the hold? Like there's a bunch of
Yeah.
crates and stuff? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Grett and Gregor, what are you guys doing?
I'm learning the ways of sailing, so I'm kind of
Oh.
picking up. I mean, everyone's upset, so I'm just trying to kind of help.
Sure, yeah. So are you trying to like cheer everybody up?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, make a charisma check.
All right.
Mm.
Yeah, you're pretty good at it. I think like one of the sailors like just kind of like smiles and nods. Like maybe you like tell some sort of joke and
Yeah.
some of the sailors are laughing. We come in right at the punchline of the joke, and so it doesn't make any sense, right? Like so we just hear like, and that's when I said, I'm trying to think of a punchline.
Don't slip while holding a pickaxe.
Yeah, and everyone just like busts a gut laughing. And some of them like seem to like do it like kind of nervously, but then like maybe you like slap one of them on the back, and then they kind of like seem to like actually like join into it. And then they kind of like laugh and like nod and kind of chuckle themselves as they like go back to their other like sailor duties. And then I think Klaus kind of walks up to you and kind of like puts a hand on your shoulder. And he says, "Thank you very much, Gregor. That's appreciated."
Of course. What else could I do in a time like this?
Very true. Would you like to make an insight check on this guy?
Yeah.
See what's going on with him? He seems to have some inner turmoil.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So there's definitely something off about this guy. So you're like looking at him and you're like, you seem different somehow. I don't know what it is exactly, but like he's like looking off into the middle distance, like dramatically, and like seems really distraught. He has really like a bunch of like bags under his eyes. He looks like he hasn't slept at all. Looks a little unsteady on his feet.
So what have you been doing since the storm, and where were you during the storm?
Well, those are two very separate questions, Gregor.
feel like I haven't seen much of you at all lately.
I haven't seen much of myself either.
What do you mean by this?
He kind of like laughs nervously. He's just like, I'm not entirely sure. It's been.
It's bullcrap.
I've avoided all mirrors and shiny objects, especially the ocean.
He says, I'm not sure what to say, Gregor. It's been a trying time for all of us, I'm sure. Kind of like goes over to the rail, puts one hand on the rail, like right next to the spot where it just like got blown to obliteration.
I understand. What you think would make you feel better in a time like this?
Well, having Saori back would be good.
Let me tell you about the time I found my first gem.
And he looks at you, and it's like that look where it's just like, oh, please don't keep talking. But he's too polite to say anything.
I keep talking.
Yeah.
I was a young lad, just old enough to be able to walk, and my father gave me my first pickaxe. Yada 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 yada. It goes on and on and on. And I tell us a story. I get this precious thing, and I end up losing it. But I find something better later on.
Right. Okay. Well, what was the thing better that you found?
It wasn't just the one thing I found. I've continuously always found better and better things that mean more to me. At that time.
It was friendship.
It was friendship. No. Whether it was friendship, or other precious gems.
Right. So maybe in that particular instance, it was like you lost this gem, and then like you were like really bummed about it, and then like someone came over to like cheer you up, and it ended up being like your best friend for your childhood or something like that, right?
Sure.
And then you're like, and ever since then, like I've just noticed that when you lose one thing, you find another. That's
something else soon takes its place.
Yeah.
It has the potential of being better.
Okay, cool.
He has low intelligence but very high wisdom.
Yeah.
Make a persuasion check, Gregor. Let's see if you can cheer this guy up a bit.
Switch.
No, you cannot. So the whole time it's been like a grimace smile. And you get to the end of the story, and he just kind of like gives you like a shoulder punch. He says, "That was a fascinating story."
That was a story.
Gregor.
That was a story.
Yeah. I have important duties to attend to, so I'm gonna
Just walks off and
see ya. And he goes back, and literally all he does is he goes back up to the wheel, and then just like puts one hand on it. Doesn't like turn it at all. He just like
All right.
kind of like just rests his hand on it.
Okay.
So Grett, what are you up to? Oh, sorry, do you have something else?
Nothing. I'm just laughing to myself and
Right.
continuing on.
Glad has put on his vestments and is doing a ceremony for their fallen companion.
Oh, interesting. So you're part of the Christian religion, correct?
Yes.
What like subsect of Christianity does Grett follow?
At this point in time, is there anything besides the Roman Catholic Church?
I was gonna say.
Well, it is 1492. So there's definitely the very beginning Earthlings of Protestantism. It's not an official thing yet, but it's like definitely getting there.
I mean, would he?
Basically, your main two choices are Roman Catholic, Orthodox Greek, or heretic.
Heresy.
Where did we come from originally?
Greece.
Then it would probably have been Greek because
Greek
that's
Orthodox.
where
Yeah, that makes sense.
they were.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Cool. So you
I mean,
just like
literally-
made light like incense candles or something.
Something like that.
Yeah. Make it safe.
I don't know what their rituals are. I literally just like I have my vestments, so I literally just took off my armor,
Yeah.
put on the vestments, and did a little thing like right at the edge where the elemental came.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
They do have incense, and they often worshipped whoever was a king at the time, or was forced to worship the king. Greeks.
Yeah. So you're like lighting these little incense candles and like praying.
That is what Grett is doing.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yi, what are you up to?
After making the voodoo doll, now that I have no real emotional connection to the sailors because Saori's gone now, so I don't really care about my relationship with them.
Right.
I want to go through people's stuff and see if they have any cool things to put in my bag.
Perfect. All right, make a stealth check.
That's just a normal bag. It's just a bag.
Right, like you told Grett. This is a completely normal
18.
bag as you shove a breastplate back into it.
Yes.
Sounds like a bag idea.
18.
Okay, cool.
I'm just gonna keep, as long as they keep
Please do
coming
it. Please do it. I'm into them.
Wait, I missed it. What was the
He
plot?
said it sounds like a bag idea.
Oh, this is so upset.
I'm not upset. I'm used to your puns.
Dead men tell no tales, all right?
I'm
Like,
upset.
are there any
I'm not
locked
upset. I'm just
things?
disappointed.
Exactly.
So, make a stealth, or you made a stealth check. 18. Okay, so make a perception check. Or investigation check.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, no. I critted on both of them
Oh,
in
yeah.
the second one.
So, no one notices you rifling through their stuff, but you definitely don't find anything of value.
Is there anything locked that I find?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can go through Saori's cabin if you want.
Ooh, yeah.
Right? Like, Saori, what's in your cabin?
Nothing. She's a monk.
Right.
Anything of value in that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Darn.
The ship is the value.
She might have like a book.
Right, you have like some sort of like
Mm.
a religious book or something.
A book we've seen before.
Like,
Wait, what book?
What's the author of
Oh.
The Kissing Men?
I don't know who the author is.
I don't think we ever established who the author was. Do you want me to make up a name for the author? Of
Yes, please.
The Book of the Kissing Men?
Maybe read one of his books, but no, I think it's just like a book on like inner peace.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Sure, I'll take it and put it in my bag.
Okay.
And then I was gonna say if
Are
there's
you gonna have inner
any...
peace about that decision, Yi?
Yes,
Okay.
lots of it. And then just like any locked chest that I come across, I want to look in it.
Okay. I think you come across one. And it's in like a back room in the like lower floors, like the hold. Yeah, it's just kind of like a plain, unassuming locked chest.
It's not unassuming. It's
Eyes
locked.
light up.
Right. The only thing assuming about it is that it's locked.
I want to try and unlock it.
All right, do it.
Okay, this also has a +2. 26.
Nice. Yeah, you totally unlocked that thing.
What's in there?
But you also set up the trap.
Was it trapped?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
should have checked it.
just
for
kind of
traps
yeah.
first.
You just kind of went for
It's
it.
fine.
So
I did.
yeah.
What happens to me?
Yeah. Let's see what happens to you.
I kind of hope I just like immediately die. That'd be fun.
I mean, I can give that to you if you want. I
No,
suppose.
No.
So this is actually a one-shot, not two-shot.
Yeah.
We're just gonna do 2 1-shots.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah. So what happens is you're like picking this lock, right? And you have like your tools like real close up to the little keyhole. And then once you hear the click, a needle just like shoots out like in your face
Ooh.
and pricks you.
Into my face?
Yeah. Make a Constitution saving throw.
This is on the boat.
Natural 20.
It is. Oof.
Hey.
Catch it in your teeth. Ah!
You take 1 piercing damage.
Oh no.
And you take half of this.
Oh my gosh! Oh my god!
God.
Half of that though.
Yeah.
So 9.
So 9 damage.
Crap.
9
Still
poison
10
damage.
damage because you wanted to go into a chest.
But what's in there?
Yeah, so you're just like, ow, ooh, wow, that doesn't feel very good. And you like open it up, look in the chest, and then we cut away from you for a moment.
No. Darn cinematography.
Yeah, exactly. We see your eyes widen as you look inside. We do a cheap cutaway. And I think what we do is we cut to darkness. Everything's
Oh,
black.
God.
In Saori, the last thing you remember is you died. And then you
Oh, I know what's gonna happen.
and then suddenly around you, like, you're just awake. It's complete dark, but you're on something that's really wet, and you're like on some sort of wet terrain, and it smells absolutely horrible, like just the worst smell you've ever smelled in your life. And you're just like in complete darkness. It's very warm here.
Oh, God. I'm in a fish, aren't I?
I'm surprised no one said anything sooner than this.
I was looking at the
A lot of
chat.
foreshadowing.
I've been dropping hits for days.
Mm-hmm.
So I wake up with 1 hit point?
Yeah, you have 1 hit point. Yep.
Oh, great. Okay, awesome. Yeah. Oh, I want to make a Constitution save to see if I throw up.
Sure. Yeah. That sounds apt. Yeah, you throw up.
Maybe I just like almost hurl, but not quite.
You're just like retching, like dry heaving, kind of like.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. Yeah.
Okay, so it's complete darkness. It smells awful, and it's a wet terrain.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I remember was dying.
Yep. And so when you died, you kind of had this feeling of terror. Like, it was like the only thing you really remember from that time was like being really like existentially afraid. Like the kind of like horror where you like realize how insignificant you are in like the grand scheme of the universe. That's all you can remember from the time that you were dead. Just this feeling.
Great. Awesome. What do I have on me? Do I have my staff? Do I have anything? Like,
You don't. So you still have your like bracers, and anything that was like on you, but you don't have your staff with you. You don't know where it is.
okay. I think I want to take a short rest.
Okay, yeah, that's
and,
fair.
Like meditate and see if I can like get any
Sure.
insight as to like what happened.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Saori, do you have dark vision? Because you're a half elf, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I think like as your eyes are adjusting to like the thing around you, you can kind of see a general idea of where you are. Like you're in some sort of cave, and like it's a weird cave because like the ground is wet and like everything stinks, and you kind of like look around you and you see like a bunch of like half rotting carcasses, some skeletons just kind of like scattered about the like floor of this cave.
That's gross.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm still short resting because I have 1 hit point left and I want a short rest.
Sure, yeah.
So, and I want all my key points back. Let's just be real. Okay, so let's see. Let me do some hit dice real quick. I mean, I guess I'll just use all of them. I don't see why I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 12 plus 18. Okay, so that brings me up exactly to my maximum hit.
Cool.
I can do. Okay, so I think what happens, right, is that I don't really look around at first. Like, I think I just like start meditating like immediately, and then like as I like open up my eyes after I finish the short rest, then I start to like see what's around me, right? Because like while I'm meditating, like I don't
Just kind of tuning everything out, yeah.
like tune everything out. So I start looking around at like these dead carcasses. Can I roll like insight or perception or something?
Yeah, roll perception. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're getting a good idea of like, so you're definitely seeing some like sea creatures that's what these carcasses belong to. And I think like it's one of those things where you're like, no, this can't really, is this really happening to me? But it's starting to dawn on you what the situation you might be in is.
I'm literally inside a fish.
You're inside some sort of enormous sea creature. Like when you look around the cave, like it's like like 300 feet in radius, kind of. So, or maybe not, maybe 300 feet in diameter, rather.
Great, wonderful, excellent. I think I want to try kicking the floor just to see what happens.
Okay. Just kick it. So
Like,
is this just like
it?
is this like a stomp? Is this like a little kick, or is it like monk
An
kick?
unarmed strike.
Yeah.
Let me try like just stomping at it first.
Nothing happens.
I'm gonna try to unarmed strike it then.
Okay. You like focus kick the ground. Yeah, so you do that. And you seem to like so what happens is yeah, this is what happens. Make a well, okay, so the ground starts moving. And like rotting carcasses start to like fall as like, so a piece of the ground just starts to like lift up, and some of the like rotting carcasses that were on the edge of this thing start to like fall down into this like deepening abyss. And yeah, you're on top of the thing that's now like moving slowly vertical. What would you like to do to not fall to your death?
Try to like, so can I see like if there's like teeth that I could like climb onto and hang onto?
It's too far to see. Like the cave is just too big. Like you can only see 60 feet in front of you. So.
Okay. I want to try to run to the top of it.
Okay, you're just like running angled up as it keeps like going upwards.
Okay, but like how?
No, you can do that. Like you can totally do that. Make an athletics check.
Like how far is it to the top?
I think you're like about smack dab in the middle, so it's about 150 feet to the top.
Oh crap! Okay, so I'm not gonna be able to make that.
I mean, you can roll an athletics check.
Man, I wish I had my staff, because then I tried stabbing it and then like just hold on. Could I grab like one of the carcasses and like try to like stab into it and hold on?
Oh, like a bone or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing you do. Make an unarmed strike, I guess. Except you're just kind of doing it with the thing. I don't know what else you'd roll exactly, but
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so you just like you grab this like big old like jawbone or something, whatever, you don't even know what this is, and you like break it in half and then just like stab this big piece just into the ground. And you just wrench it in there, and then yeah, like you're just holding onto it as like you slowly get like lifted higher and higher as this thing just keeps rising. Make a strength check.
Great.
I don't. Crit fail.
Would it be a survival check? Okay, so strength.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just barely managed to hold on. And so basically what happens is it goes completely vertical. You're hanging like just like 150 feet below you is certain death. And just like hanging there, like, and you feel your arms start to slip. And then the ground just like, in a rush, just slams back down. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, could I just let go of it and then fall?
If you want to, yeah.
I want to do that.
You want to take falling damage?
Because I have slow fall.
Oh, you do, don't
Oh,
Oh.
you? Sure, yeah.
clever girl. Ah!
Okay, so I reduce it by
Oh no. Oh no.
It's all good.
by 20 points, whatever it is.
You reduce the damage by 20 points?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you are falling 150 feet.
150 feet? Holy
yeah.
crap.
I think there's a, let's see, I think it's a d6 for every 10 feet you're falling.
Sounds about right.
So let's roll 15d6.
Okay, could I like let go like halfway?
Might want to.
Because here's the thing, right? I probably would have been holding on, and then like as it's going down, like let go.
Sure. So I'll roll it again. Let's say it's only
No, let's just have that.
That's not how that works. I'm gonna roll 8d6. All right, so you take 3 damage.
3 damage. I'm happy with that. I'll take that.
And it was about half too.
So we see, right, the tongue just like slam down. You let go at the right times and then slow fall and then roll, right, and come up. But then you see above you like pieces of this carcass, some viscous looking liquid flying into the air, like hundreds of feet into the air, and then it's slowly crashing back down. Make another dexterity saving throw.
I thought you said all the carcasses were gone.
Well, that's the thing. They fell. Okay, so again, this is a giant tongue. It lifted up its tongue. The weird carcasses fell into the bottom of its mouth, and then it slammed its tongue back down. So all the carcass debris and the saliva is shooting up on the sides of its mouth, and then crashing back down in the middle of its tongue.
Oh, great.
Not sure that's how physics works, but you're the DM.
Yeah.
Okay, dexterity save.
Giant things make physics not work right. That's cinema logic right there.
Dexterity save.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're fine. So you manage to just dodge out of the way of this falling like carcass debris and saliva. And then you're just like in a wasteland of like carcasses and saliva everywhere on this giant tongue.
Well, that didn't work.
I mean, it worked if you wanted it to do that, but
I mean, I wanted to like, I think I wanted to like confirm for myself that this was indeed a giant tongue.
I mean, you succeeded. It did work.
Okay, I want to walk around and try to find the teeth.
Okay, yeah. See, I think it only takes a little bit, and you walk forward, yeah, you see the giant teeth of this thing. So
It don't really have teeth unless it's a killer whale.
Yeah, I was gonna
Have
say.
Bailey.
If it has
So-
carcasses in it, if it has carcasses, it has teeth.
all right, so let's think about how large this mouth is right now. 300 feet in diameter. It's not a blue whale. So you get to the teeth. Basically, it's like someone grabbed giant, like, sharp yellow cones, enlarged, like, cast the growth spell on them, made them, like, dozens of feet across, and then, like, put them into this mouth. And so there's, like, just row upon row upon row surrounding the front of this mouth of just, like, these giant yellow spikes just crossing each other.
Okay, so being a sailor, right?
Would you like to make a check of some sort?
to see what this thing is, yes,
yeah,
I would.
I'm trying to think of what it would be exactly.
Is it the whale you've been after your entire life? You finally found it.
So, the thing is, I'm not sure if this would be nature exactly because,
I mean, should I roll like history or?
so
like,
you can roll nature, history, or arcana. They will give you different information based on what you roll.
history, nature, or arcana.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have -1 to all of those.
So it doesn't matter.
I think I want to do, like, Saori seems like she would want to know, like, the history of it.
Yeah,
like, what
sure.
it is.
That seems right.
18.
Ooh.
So you have heard tales of
Whales.
I was gonna say that.
Ooh.
you've heard tales, and everyone in the world has heard tales of this thing. At least everywhere you've gone, you've heard. I mean, you've been a lot of places. This is
the Loch Ness monster.
no, it's not the Loch Ness monster. This is. There's a lot of names for this thing. I think in your language, your native language, it's called a kaiju.
The what?
It's called a kaiju.
The kaiju.
It's called a kaiju.
A kaiju.
As in, like, the name for it is kaiju.
Ooh,
We need to find the Power Rangers, guys.
All
I
right.
just looked it up.
Okay. It's called kaiju. And what do I know about it?
Well, there's a lot of different kinds. And they've historically plagued your home country. Basically, for some reason, the Pacific Ocean is just full of giant monsters that like to attack.
For some reason. Ugh. I wonder
Like to
why.
attack Japan. And that's the thing. You've never heard.
Gorilla there too. And also
No, you've never heard about a giant gorilla. But so there's a lot of different kinds, and you've mostly heard of them only in the Pacific Ocean, like only around your homeland. So near Japan, near the Pacific Islands, so like the Philippines, those around those locations. You've never heard of one in the Mediterranean. But this is obviously a kaiju. Like, obviously that's what this is. But as to like what it is, that's tough. I mean, your folklore has a lot of different stories about a lot of different kinds of these things. And whether or not some of them are true, or some of them, like how many of them are true, who knows? But they're usually giant. Most of the time they are reptilian in nature. But they come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes. The most popular one that you know of is a monster called Gamera. It's basically like a giant like dragon turtle monster.
okay.
Thank you for being as into this as I am, Seth.
So silly.
I know.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the thing. You've never heard of one in the Mediterranean, so this is a shock to you.
I don't know how. Like, I'm just trying to think of a way that Saori could get out of this.
Yeah, well, you can ask me questions about it. What would you like to know?
Are they friendly?
Some of them are. Yeah, definitely some of them are. Like there's historical records of like your like various people like making deals with or communing with various kaiju to fight other kaiju. Like that's definitely a thing.
So I can talk to it?
There are usually special rituals. So you could definitely attempt to find out what one of those rituals were and do it. You can make a religion check.
Sure. Would it be religion or arcana?
Either one would work.
Okay. Well, I have -1 to both of those. I'll just do religion. Whatever. Nope.
I mean, you have an idea, a general idea of like what it would look like, and you could guess, but whether or not it would work or whether or not it would go disastrously wrong, you know, that's trial and error sort of
What
thing.
are the chances of that happening, though?
Can I just like try finding Dory, like Dory this, like where I just go like,
Whoa!
Kaiju.
Well, what language are you speaking?
I think. I know. Oh my gosh, I never pronounced the name of this language correctly.
Celestial?
No.
What?
Sylvan.
Sylvan. Yeah.
I think I want to try speaking in Sylvan.
Yeah. That.
If I were you, I would have spoken in thieves' cant to it.
How was the weather today, Kaiju?
I
What
would've
I'm actually
spoken-
saying is, help me out, bud.
I actually know a lot of languages. That's weird.
Yeah, so I think I want to start speaking to it in Sylvan, like, Kaiju, what, like, I don't know, say, like, something wise, like, or attempt to say something wise. Like, just say something along the lines of, can you hear me? Or something like that.
Very wise, yeah.
Right?
So you say it. It kind of echoes. And you're thinking about it. You're like, all right, I'm in this thing's mouth. If I know anything about biology, how easy is it to hear something that's inside your mouth? Not that easy, especially if it's like very small comparatively. So you're thinking like, maybe it could understand me, but I need to like find a way to project my voice.
I mean, I don't have any magic. This sucks. I wish I had thaumaturgy. I mean, could I try to like find a carcass that's like in the shape of like some kind of like megaphone?
Say it again.
Like find a carcass that's maybe like a whole shape.
Oh yeah. Make a nature check.
Nature check?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're looking around at all these bones. No, yeah. Like maybe you would have been able, if you had known enough about it, you'd be like, oh, this creature has like a specific chamber in their skull, and I could use this. But yeah, you look around and you have no idea what any of these bones could do.
I mean, I think I just start yelling.
Right, you just start yelling. Okay, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, and so we cut away from that scene as Saori's just like yelling over and over and over again, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Please, can you hear me? And then we cut back to Yi. And your eyes widen as you look inside this this chest. And you see a fine black cloth folded up like a handkerchief, and it's the only thing in there, just sitting at the bottom.
That's what I think it is.
Would you like to make an Arcana check?
Sure.
If this is just what I think it is, I'm gonna be annoyed.
Ooh, 19!
So you remember hearing a story once of somewhere back in, so you come from China, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you remember an old tale of a powerful wizard that he made a deal with a powerful genie. So let's see, what would be the specific cultural thing in that? Let's see, Chinese
Spirit, I would think.
spirits of some sort. Yeah, I'm trying to think of yeah, so it's a Yaojing. So Yaojing are usually like pretty at the best they're mischievous, at the worst they're evil. They're like pure evil. And you remember a wizard making a deal with a particularly powerful Yao guy. Yaojing is the singular, Yao guy, or the Yao guai, I think it is. Yao guai or is the plural. And you remember a powerful wizard making a deal with a particularly powerful Yao guai named let's see, how do you pronounce this? Nayumawang. And basically that means in your language, bull demon king.
Ooh.
So it was this like really powerful like demon like thing. He's the let me see specifically here. Tell me more about this guy. Yeah, it's not telling me anything more about it. But anyway, you remember the guy making a deal, and the demon was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll give you all this powerful magic item that you really want, but you have to use it once for me." And the wizard, basically, the wizard was just like, "Give me incredible power. Like, give me the power to control China. Like, just be an emperor of China. Like, just take over China." And the demon was like, "Sure, I'll do that. I'll give you this power, but like, I'll give you this like very powerful magic item." He was very vague on what exactly it was going to be when he gave it to the wizard, but he's like, "All right, but I get to use it once, right? Like, you have to do what I tell you to do with it one time, and then you can use it as many times as you want after that." And you remember it was a small black handkerchief. And when the wizard unfolded it, it kind of like unfolds into like a circular sheet about like 6 feet in diameter. It created a portal to other dimensions.
Oh wait.
What?
And so the wizard got this magic item, and the demon was like, "All right, cool. So open a portal to input coordinates here." And he just kind of gave him like a general like name, like say this name and like use the magic item. And he did, the wizard did, and the demon, it was the demon's home. The demon came through, killed the wizard, and he ruled China instead.
Classic.
In the wizard's body, basically. And so it was like this whole like this story of like don't ever trust the Yaojing, the Yao Guai, because they'll trick you over, they'll like screw you over every time.
Classic genie bait and switch.
Yes, exactly. And so you're looking down at this thing and you're like, no. What? And so this thing is called translated into English.
Why the heck is this item on my ship?
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah.
I think it's your first mates, probably.
Better than monks.
This thing is called in English the Well of Many Worlds.
Ooh.
So you know that you can use an action to unfold and place the Well of Many Worlds on a solid surface, whereupon it creates a two-way portal to another world or plane of existence. So yeah.
I thought you were just giving her a portable hole.
Mm-mm.
That would have been bad because I would have put it in my bag of holding.
And then she
And
would
then I
have
would've-
left to the astral plane.
Yeah, that could have been bad. Okay, wait, is that a real item in the compendium?
I don't know if it's in the compendium.
Oh, there we go. Well of Many Worlds.
Is it? Okay, cool.
Ooh.
So
许多
he's
世
gonna
界
get off
都
the
很
ship
好。
to just go right to Spain.
And so this is the thing. You don't know what the specific rituals are to like get it to go where you want it to go. You know that
Right.
if you just put it down on the surface, it will open up to some random world, but you don't have any control over it yet. So
Excellent. I'd like to find another black cloth and put it in the chest.
Okay. Make a investigation check to see if you can like find one that roughly looks like it.
Yeah. It's
You've
actually a bright yellow.
yeah, you
piece
definitely don't find any black handkerchiefs on the entire ship.
Do I find something that's really like obnoxiously colored that I like? Can I put like a rubber duck in there?
I mean, not a rubber duck, but you can put like a. I mean, put your voodoo doll in there.
Ooh. Sure, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I close it and relock it.
Okay. Make another thieves' tools check to see if you can reset the trap.
25.
Okay, yeah. So you're trying to like put it back to the way it was, right? Because you want it to be as inconspicuous as possible with this. I think you managed to do that. So you grab the needle, put it back in. It's obviously poisoned now, but it's still there, right? And so you kind of put the trap back together the way it was.
It can do 1 piercing damage to somebody.
It can do 1 piercing damage to someone. It will shoot him in the face. Yeah. So what do you do, Yi?
Let's see. I put it in my bag of holding.
Okay.
Which, does anything happen? I don't think it's...
Nope.
Anything, because... Okay. And then,
Now your bag can really hold a lot.
yeah. Well,
Holds an entire world.
yeah. And I guess I go up to see what, Grett and Gregor are doing.
Yeah, what are you guys doing?
At this point, Grett has probably just finished up his little ceremony.
Sure.
And is heading back into the cabin area to put away his vestments and put back on his armor and everything, which takes a while, I think, actually.
I was actually kind of seeing the ritual he was doing and telling about the rituals that we do for.
Well, it wasn't a ritual. It's just a ceremony. It's like a funeral of sorts.
Yeah, my people, what we do is we sharpen our pickaxe, the number of how old they were when they passed away.
Yeah, that's
sparks.
awesome.
Yeah,
sure. Cool.
That I mean, after that, how long does it take to get in and out of armor again? 10 some minutes.
It takes a while if it's like if you're wearing chainmail. Let's see. Isn't that what you're wearing?
I'm wearing chainmail. Yep.
Because I remember I didn't want to take the time to help you back into your armor. It takes 5 minutes to take off.
I'm putting it back on.
Putting it back on, it takes 10 minutes.
Okay, well, I take the 10 minutes to put back on my chainmail, take off my vestments and everything.
Okay. Yeah, nothing jumps out and attacks you guys in that time.
I'm not watching.
Good.
You guys...
Are you like on the deck doing this? Did you go down?
No. I go back, and that's what I said. I went back into the cabin area and
all right.
take off the vestments and put on.
Okay, cool. So Grett, when you do, you see Clement in there, and he is he's reading a book, some sort. You're not exactly sure what it is, but he kind of like looks up at you. He's like just sitting on like a box.
Do I see the book title?
Make a perception check. Yeah. You notice the title, and that's the thing. Like, Grett doesn't recognize this title. And no one who would recognize this title is in the room, but it's the same title as the book that Yi stole from Saori's room. It's like the Path to Inner Peace or whatever.
Okay. So does he say anything to me?
Yeah, he looks up and sees that you're like in your vestments, right? And he says, "A noble thing you did.
It is my way.
It is my way as well, friend. I did a funeral service for her as well. Said a few prayers."
Oh yeah? I do not remember seeing that.
Oh, I did it right after she died. You were still unconscious, I believe.
Oh yeah, I was unconscious for a little bit.
You're an interesting man, Grett.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like nods, like okay. He says, I know that we have our theological differences, you being of the Orthodox Church and me being of the Roman Catholic, but I am pleased to have another brother of the faith on board.
Oh yeah.
Tell me, how well did you know Captain Saori?
How long have we known each other at this point?
At the very least, like a couple months.
Yeah, I would say like 3 months. 3, 4
Has
months.
it really been
Yes,
3
that's
months since we originally met?
I think so, yeah.
Dang.
I feel like
We've
that's a
known
long
each other for
time.
quite some time. I first met her when we were going to save a friend of hers, and
I didn't know. I didn't know Shayla.
oh no, friend of
Friend of
Yee's.
Yee's.
My
Sure.
a friend.
I thought you were friends.
Yeah.
We were going
Moldrak
to
also thought they were friends until he got
I was-
betrayed.
I heard the stories of the adventures in the church, and I could not help but want to go join them.
What adventures are you speaking of? Is there some
I
sort
tell
of
them-
dazzling tale?
And I go ahead and tell them the story about
Sure.
them going and like infiltrating the underground world of the underground crime world, and like how Moldrak went to save Yee and got eaten in half, and I was just so inspired that I wanted to join in the adventuring.
Are those all the details that you offer?
Given that's all I really remember at the moment. I mean, I mainly heard the parts about Moldrak, not necessarily the
Yeah.
Shayla, trying to seduce them and everything.
I don't think most people know about that, so yeah. Yeah. So, I think he nods when your story is finished, and he says, huh, "This Moldrak sounded like a brave individual.
Oh yeah.
I wish I could have known him. Say, Grett.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what do I ask you? Yeah, so he takes that kind of like long, awkward pause, I think. And then he just like nods. Yeah. And then he says, "Thank you."
Okay. And I'm just continue getting dressed and everything.
Yeah, and he just goes back to reading his book.
Can I roll perception to see like if he's like why he took such a long pause?
Insight? Yeah.
Insight? Okay. Okay, good, because that's a lot better. Oh, frick.
You have no idea.
Unless I roll a 2.
Yeah, so we just see Clement reading The Path to Inner Peace as Grett puts on his armor again. Gregor, what are you up to?
Oh man, so the seas are kind of calm right now, and it's nighttime.
Yeah, I think it's like it's the next day, so it's like the middle of the day now. But yeah, the seas are calm.
Okay, well, I'm not used to being in the sun that much, so
Okay.
I'm gonna go inside for a little bit.
Okay, so you walk in on this. You see Grett like putting on his armor, and Clement just kind of reading a book in the bunk, or on a box like next to his bunk.
So okay, so I walk in, and I'm able to see the book title.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Inner peace. What does that mean to you?
Inner peace means many different things to many different people, Brother Gregor. But
I'm asking about you, though.
Of course you are. Inner peace to me is peace with one's God. I have peace with God because of what he's done for me. And so I can have peace with both God and my brothers and sisters.
So what more do you expect to learn from this book?
I am curious. There are many paths to inner peace, it seems, from many different places. This is the path that Saori took. I am trying to learn from her life and death to understand her maybe a little bit more.
I don't know much about her. She just granted me passage. I just needed to get to where the king wanted me to go. But,
It is the same with me, Brother Gregor. I did not know her very well, but it seemed that she had noble blood in her, even if she was a pagan.
Where are you headed exactly?
We are going to the Abbey, the Abbey of Saint Mary. It's a couple more days up the coast.
Interesting. Is there something you want to do there?
Oh, that is our home. We were on pilgrimage to the capital of Rome to visit the Vatican, the Holy Church.
Cool.
Brother Gregor, are you a religious man?
Uh-oh. Last person who got asked that got eaten by a fish.
The only things that I swear by are the things that I can control myself and that are near immovable, like earth.
Like some rods.
Yes, you might say.
Yeah,
I swear by what's tangible.
So materialist then. I know many colleagues, scholars, who would love to have a conversation with you about that, but I myself am not inclined to such intellectual pursuits. I am more interested in the spiritual. So, it interests me, your answer to that question, because for me, the only thing that is tangible is my faith in God. And it always amuses me how we put our faith in the created things instead of the one who made them. You say you put your faith in rock and stone, the things that are tangible, but what can be more tangible than the person who made that rock and stone? If he can make something as sturdy as that, isn't he sturdier by comparison? The sturdiest, you could say.
Your question confuses me. Rock's always been there. I don't see there's like it's ever not been there.
So you believe that matter is eternal. An interesting proposition. I'm sorry, I'm getting involved in the intellectual pursuits that I just told you I wasn't interested in. Sometimes the temptation can be too great. I'm sorry, Brother Gregor. I'm annoying you with petty
I'm
questions.
just trying to escape the heat. I'm not used to being in the sun very much. I'm used to being underground where I'm most comfortable.
Of course. And I assume that you're not used to being under the bright light of a cross-examination by a priest. So I will refrain from doing so as well. Please, Brother Gregor, be at peace.
Thank you. I'm just going to go sit down and kind of rest my eyes.
Sure.
Would that make Grett and Gregor in the same room now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to go down there and I just kind of want to say, are you guys tired of being on this boat? Or is that just me?
Since the day I stepped on this thing, or the minute I stepped on this thing.
I was enjoying it until sorry.
So, are you not enjoying it anymore?
Not as much.
Okay, come with me. And I take them down to the hold.
Do you come too, Gregor?
You guys are gonna abandon my ship?
Well, yeah. Well, I'm gonna. I want a perception check. So I want to see if like there's something like off about that whole thing, like just coming.
Roll insight. Yeah.
Insight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Insight is for people. Perception is for like things.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So I mean, tell us a little bit about what your kind of like cues you're giving here.
You seem like you're pretty hasty. That's why I'm just like.
I'm not like really being sneaky at all about it. I'm very obviously like still not a fan of the water, and it's very obvious that I want to get off the ship as soon as possible. Might not make any sense that I'm taking them down further in the ship, but
Well, I like the idea of going down, so I'm just gonna go around.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like she's trying to like murder you in the night or anything like that,
Yeah.
right? Like nothing sketchy like that.
Then I'll follow them down.
Okay, yeah.
I've gone
So
down
we-
there.
so we-
follow.
Yeah, we see you three go down, right? Like leave the room, and then Clement just kind of like closes his book, sets it to the side, stands up, and follows you guys.
I don't like this.
What are you doing?
No, like after you guys have already like gone.
Oh,
Like he follows at a distance, so
I mean, is there a lock on a door that I could lock?
you can't lock them in to their room.
But, like-
No, like downstairs, because there's other rooms downstairs.
Yeah, is there like a
when you
door
get there,
with a
yeah.
lock in
I'm
it?
just saying, like from a what's the word?
Cinematographic.
Perspective, he is following you at a distance. So.
Okay. Is
But
there
yeah,
a way that I can get in a room with a locked door?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
So the chest was in this room,
Okay.
which does have a lock on it. So
Is there another room besides that room that has a lock on it?
any of the cabins do, but I mean those are where the sailors sleep, so you'd be barging into the room, but you can unlock their door and then lock it again.
I guess I'll
Like
go
you're-
back.
The captain's area would probably have a lot.
You can do that too, yeah.
Ooh. Then yeah, I'll go to Saori's
Right there,
room.
yeah.
Yeah, so just kidding. I guess I bring everybody up.
We're trying
so
to
then we
play
can
them.
go to Saori's room.
Okay, sure.
It's on the same deck.
Okay, so Saori's room. I bring everybody inside if they follow, and then I lock the door behind us.
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
And I just kind of go, "Are you guys ready to get off the ship?"
Absolutely.
I'm confused.
I take out the well of many worlds. I lay it on the floor, and I jump in.
Okay, so let's think about this. So I think what we do, right? Like you guys have that short conversation. Yi starts laying out the cloth. We cut to watching. I think we what we do is the music starts playing under the background, like dramatic music, right? Like leading up to something, it's building up to something. We see Yi laying out the cloth. We see Clement walking down the stairs into the hold and going towards the room that had the chest in it. And he like is unlocking it and stuff. We see all that, and then we cut also to Saori, and she's still like yelling with a ragged voice now, just at the mouth. And we get this music building up, right? And he lays down this cloth, and see, the thing is, there's like so many different possibilities as to like where this could go. So does
I'm
anyone
interested if they follow.
right, so does anyone have a particular idea?
I'm not gonna follow Midi. I stumble because I haven't seen anything like this before. It's like what? Well, it's kind of like
Well,
taking
I guess I'm asking, like, as players, does anyone have a particular idea of where this portal should lead?
Oh, I don't know what this portal.
It can go anywhere.
It's literally so it randomly opens up a portal to
another world.
to
or
another
plane
world
of
or plane of
existence.
existence.
Does it have any properties of like what might cause it to go to certain places? Like if it's near, is it Yi's stuff? Whoever.
Each time the item each time the item opens a portal, the DM decides where it leads.
Because what we can do is, if we're unsure about like a direction that this could take, we could just end here. I could think about it, and then like come up with something for next time.
That might be best because we
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
do you guys follow? That's the thing.
Yeah, so I guess we don't see what is inside the portal. We just see Yi walking in. He just like jump in.
I will go in. It's just I'm gonna be very.
I would probably run after like no, and like run after and fall in after her.
I'm gonna be like the heck. I'm gonna like probably stick my javelin down it, and then once it's and pull back out once it's fine. I'll go in.
Sure. Yeah.
And then once they're through, I want to fold it up.
Yeah.
Can you wait? Is that how that works?
That's what I'm wondering.
I thought.
Okay, you can use an action to unfold and place the well of money on a solid surface. Let's see. Each time, blah, 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 blah. You can use an action to close an open portal by taking hold of the edge of the cloth and folding it up. So, I mean, yeah, that doesn't take a whole lot of time. So, I think you might just do it.
Excellent.
And so we just see, I think we do is we just see the like the cloth just like folding up on the floor of Saori's like chamber. It just folds into nothingness and it just disappears.
So you don't actually teleport into it as soon as you jump in?
It is a two-way portal that like is like just leads to another place, and you can go in and out of it as long as it stays open. See, the thing
But
is,
I closed it.
yeah, the issue is you guys are in another world or plane of existence, and there is no guarantee whatsoever that you will ever make it back to your plane of existence.
I don't know this. I'm just going.
Right?
I don't really know this either, but I was just tired of being on the boat and there was nothing there for me anymore. And like we were going to Spain, but like I also wanted to get off the boat and away from the creepy people.
My God.
So I think what happens is
Alice is just like, what are you guys doing?
Maybe my family will be there. I'm looking for
This is what happens when you leave me and my weird characters to our own devices.
playing
Why
stupid.
does you get all these cool things?
Oh no.
Seriously, you got two.
Because I'll use them.
Well, he has been kind of like the main character of this story so far, of the side stories. So
She's the only one who's not been
Exactly.
killed in some way.
well, she did die and then she got revivified. But I think what we see is the thing fold up, right, and then it ceases to exist in that room, and then the door bursts open, and Clement is standing there.
With an evil look in his eye.
Yeah, with like a terrified look in his eye, and he says, "No, no."
You throw the book across and then it
Yes,
ends.
no, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's totally what it is. He just chucks the book. It just hits the ground, falls to the floor, and then like it's like spine up, and then it just you can see like the path to inner peace, right? Like
Yeah.
on the spine.
We're going to inner peace.
And I think like the music stops, right? The like epic music that has been playing, it reaches this crescendo and it stops. We go to black. We fade back up, and Saori, what have you done since you've given up on yelling because nothing worked? What do we see Saori doing?
Crying.
See, this is tough because Saori literally accepted the fact that she was going to die.
Right.
And now she's like, crap, now I have to fight for my life again? Okay. I mean, like, she's going to, because, like, that's who she is. But, like, she's just frustrated. She's like, she doesn't see a way, like, out of this right now.
There's one thing that you could try. You could definitely take a guess at that ritual.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the only thing she can do at this point, except try to stab at it more. But I mean, like, clearly that's just gonna like kill her eventually. So
Yeah. So
or try to get it to open up its mouth, but then like she doesn't know how deep she is in the ocean, or if she's like close to the surface, like you know, or if she's in the middle of the ocean on a coast, like she's got no clue. So yeah, I mean, I guess she's gonna try to do this ritual thing.
So I think what happens is you gather up some bones. You kind of put them in this like circular formation, right? Like you're just trying to remember anything you can about like the things you read about this, and try to put them in like a specific formation. And you look at it and you're like, no, that just looks like one of the symbols we used in the monastery. I don't even know if that's even related. You like redo it. You just kind of like redo it a couple times. You're just like, and you're like, you know what? I don't even know what this is supposed to look like. So I'm just gonna like whatever. Like whatever this ends up being, who knows? Like you're just kind of running out of options at this point. And I think what comes to your mind is you remember a song that your mother used Or wait, so you're an orphan, right?
Right.
What was the issue with your parents again? Like what happened there?
My mom slept with a sailor, which was
Right.
really disgraceful, and then so she gave me up to the monastery to be raised there.
Can
Okay,
we
yeah.
go back over your really deep emotional scars real quick? Just like a quick recap for the audience right now.
You.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, and if you feel free if you want to, because there's definitely gonna be a role here, and you can get inspiration on it if you wanna.
Yeah, let me tell you about songs.
My hair.
Let me tell you how I got these emotional scars.
Let me tell you about this tradition that my mother, quote unquote,
Right.
figure in my life would do every single night when she takes
Is this the
me-
abbess?
What?
Is this the abbess that was your mother figure?
The abbess?
Yeah.
I don't know what an abbess is.
The mother.
The leader of the abbey
Well,
of
yeah,
the
she was
monastery.
Yes, sorry, she was the leader.
Yeah.
She would tuck me into bed, and she would go over like the histories of our monastery, and that's probably actually maybe where I heard like some of the stories of this creature.
Yeah.
Was through this, but she taught me song, like she would sing me to sleep, and I think like
I definitely know exactly what it is. Definitely know what this song is.
where's my Bible? Is there a song in the book of Jonah?
No, there isn't. No, that's
You
not what I'm
Love
saying.
Song by Sarah Bareilles.
I was kind of like, oh, maybe it's like a song.
Not a song, it's more of a poem.
Well, poems or songs.
It can't be. Yeah, there's overlap. I think what the song was it was a song basically like there used to be like an ancient guardian of the monastery that you were at. Right, like this being that would like watch over the monks there. And like, because it was like an all-woman monastery, there was always like a lot of like prejudice and a lot of like nobody really understood them, and so they were always took comfort in the fact that they had this like spirit guardian basically. And the spirit guardian's name was Masura. And you remember a little song that went something like in Japanese Elvish, went something like Masura ya Masura Dongan Kasa Kuyan Indomu, and so on and so forth. There's like words in Japanese, but it went something like Masura o Masura, if we were to call for help over time, over sea, like a wave, you'd come, our guardian angel. Masura o Masura, if we were to call for help over time, over sea, like a wave, you'd come, our guardian angel. And then it would repeat that for a couple times, and then it went Masura o Masura, O of forgotten kindness and ruined spirits, we pray for the people's spirit as we sing this song of love. Masura o Masura.
Okay. So that's the song that she used to sing to me like almost every single night.
Yeah.
Right? I think this is what happens. I think maybe instead of like her trying to figure out what this ritual is, I think she's probably like broken down at this point. Like, mother, like, what do I do? Like, I have no idea, like, what I'm supposed to do. And I think she just like kind of like lays down like on the tongue, like kind of like trying to like cradle herself and start singing the song to herself, like try to comfort herself.
Yeah. So make a religion check with advantage.
Okay.
All right, well, get a 14. And I think what happens is the bones start glowing. They glow with like a bluish light, and it like illuminates the darkness around you, and suddenly you can see without your dark vision. And suddenly they're too bright. Suddenly you can't see anything but the blue light, and everything around you is just blue light. And you just hear the song repeating over and over in your head, and then it all fades back to darkness, and it's like you blink a couple times because it's just like the light is still just like emblazoned on your eyeballs. And then you hear a deep, dark voice say, here, let's see. If I can get this
God,
right.
it's good.
Yes, my child.
Mom?
And that's where we cut. Hard cut, end credits. There you go.
She's not very intelligent.
Mom, did you go
Oh
through puberty?
man.
I broke Caleb again.
Well, I have no idea where this is gonna go next week. I had some plans, but Yi opening up a portal to another world kind of dashed all of them. So
Don't give me things like that. I just want to use them.
You should know better than to give Emily toys.
yep,
I
I
had-
guess.
In my last campaign, I had what was it? The deck of
To get the deck of many things.
Yes. Oh man. And
I
it was-
will pull them in side stories. Real campaign, no, but I will pull them in side stories.
First I drew a card that allowed me to draw 2 more cards. So
Oh my
I
gosh.
played one of them. And I drew one of them, and it was like a treasure, like trove, like huge, like a mountain of them. And then I grabbed the second one, and the second one stole my spirit out of my body
Oh no.
and sent it away. And so then my body, so my campaign, all my party was like, what the heck? So all of a sudden this big pile of gold appeared, but then my body just collapsed. It's like, because they had no idea what happened, because last they saw, I was looking over this corpse that had, that in it. So I was like, what? So that was fun. And then we did this whole campaign trying to get my soul back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's the thing. We'll have to talk about what happens next time. I'll have to think about this a bit. Try to think of how to tie this all up in one more session.
Sorry, that's my fault. You can blame me.
I mean, that's the thing though. But the thing is, like, I get to decide where you guys go. So like,
It's true.
it's
Yeah.
You can
much
just
more
take us wherever
easy.
You need to go.
Yeah, exactly. It's much more easy than like you've decided to go to hell. Then I'll just be like, well, okay. I don't know what to do. So I got some things kind of churning around. It's honestly, it's more like tying together what was happening with Clement and Klaus and Saori. That's gonna be the trick. Trying to make all of that kind of come together in another session. We'll see. So.
Should have just let Saori die, man.
Come on, there's no way with all of the hints that I dropped that I
Yeah.
wouldn't pull a Jonah. Come on. It was
I mean,
all
honestly,
perfectly.
I literally didn't even see like
Uh-huh.
any of those
You know,
hints.
I want to know what you're going to tie into my character's story. Because I don't remember what it was. I was looking in my book for background stuff, and whatever I rolled told me that because I have the folk hero, that I get called to greatness. So that's why I got called by the king. I don't know. It was
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I have some ideas. They might be more in terms of like I don't know if they'll necessarily pan out a whole lot next time we do it, but at the very least, in the future of this world, there's
yeah, you
stuff
guys can
for
take
sure.
my character after
Yeah.
this too and do what you want with
I
him.
have ideas. I definitely have ideas.
Cool.
And I just had another one that I think is kind of brilliant, and you
Light
guys,
bulb.
yeah, probably won't ever know the ramifications of it until like a year from now, probably. But I think it's kind of cool. We'll see.
That worries me.
Yeah, yeah.
A year to think about all the
We'll see.
troubles.
We'll see.
Instead of kill him, make him suffer for a long time.
Yep, that's the plan. That's the plan.
Have my dumb side story decisions destroy our actual campaign. Excellent, excellent.
Oh my god, what if he just like gets transported to Brazil?
We go into the middle of the Bitter Thunder tribe fortress.
Like, ha! You had to do my dungeon now.
You can't
Oh,
avoid it,
dear.
but you also don't have to make survival checks to swim.
It's
there.
true. It's true. Yeah. So, I feel like there was another thing I was going to say that I forgot now. Oh yeah, no, I mean, yeah, like there were definitely heavy hints throughout the whole thing that it was gonna turn into the story of Jonah, because and you basically just like walked right into it. Like I had like been thinking about that already, and then you were like, "Oh, I'll sacrifice myself." I'm like, "Oh, perfect."
So wait, was the plan just for one of us to get sucked into this whale?
Well, the whole thing was like, so I was having all the monks pray and stuff, right? So they were like fulfilling that part of the Jonah story where like they were all calling out to their own gods, like that whole thing. And so like they were trying to like calm the storm or whatever, and I was just kind of go along with whatever happened and try to like, I was just gonna kind of like play with the themes a bit there, but you just ended up walking right into like the most prominent of those themes, which is going into the ocean and being swallowed by a giant thing. So it was pretty good.
Also, were they going to throw her overboard?
I mean, I think probably if you guys hadn't saved Grett, he probably would have just taken Grett in the water after he killed him.
Oh no.
But,
Oh no.
yeah. Honestly, I think Saori as that person was basically perfect because kaiju.
Well, also if Greg got taken, I wouldn't have found the Well of Many Worlds.
It's true. It's true.
And we wouldn't be wherever we are next week.
See, the thing is, like, I put the Well of Many Worlds there because I know what is going on the ship and, like, why it was there. And so, it was a very good reason why it was there. But, like,
and now we never will
yeah, like, maybe, yeah, we'll have to see. I'll think about it. It'll stew in my brain a little bit. I have some
It's
ideas,
fine.
but...
Every 1d8 hours, I'm just gonna go to a new world.
Really?
I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, that sounds like a very Yi thing to do.
Until I find one that I like.
Yeah. Well, there we go. That is Terra Nullius Side Stories. This was a blast to play, guys. I really liked this session. Thank you for doing this with me.
Yeah.
So,
It was ridiculous.
yeah, it was awesome. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for joining, Ryan. This was super fun.
Of course.
Yeah. Welcome to the world of Terra Nullius. Yeah.
Welcome to the world of lots of stupid plans.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. So one last thing. Everybody take 600 XP.
Oh snap!
I'll give you a.
600.
That's not exactly as much as you would have gotten from doing the water elemental. It's a bit more. But just for like everything that happened, you guys were pretty fantastic at solving problems and doing things. So.
Okay, let's see. What are the levels? Oh man, 6,500.
Yeah.
For level 5.
Still a while away.
It's gonna be a bit.
I mean, one thing I could do, what if I just had it go into the kaiju with Saori?
That would be ridiculous.
No,
That'd be
I
a
don't.
little too
I know that's too convenient. Yeah, it would just be amusing.
I mean, as a DM, you could make that story decision.
It's true. It's true. No, that's not gonna be it. Yeah, there you go. That's Terra Nullius. We will be back next week with some more side stories. We'll finish this little arc up. We'll have to see how that goes. But for something that I just kind of cooked up about, 2 hours before we started, I'm pretty happy with the way this session turned out. So there you go. I also really liked playing Clement, like a lot.
I didn't like him.
I know you didn't. All right, there you go. We are out. See you next week.
Bye-bye.